Is it on YouTube at all or not?
I don't know. It was on the news yesterday.
Russell's advantage over Aiken in the standings. You can see that Fukuzumi closed on Aiken. He was very much in the battle, but that is surely over now. We are in to the really vital stage of the season, where one move can make the difference, or one failure can cost you everything. That seems to be how it is. You can also see Giuliano Alesi is out of position there. He is the splitting driver of the ARTs. He's way down the field today in 13th. A reminder that if you weren't with us yesterday, this grid has been comprised of the practice order. So in Belgium, ART were well down in 13th, 14th, 15th and 16th in practice.
Is it going to be a different shape?
So if we'd had a rained-out session in Belgium, we would have had ART in the middle of the pack, but they did do a qualifying simulation, and with the weather forecast, that was the sensible thing to do. There is Charlie Whiting up bright and early and ready to get the 20 in the field if Fukuzumi can get going from the pit lane. 19 on the grid. The one driver change is the 14 car just pulling into his slot on the right hand side. Dan Tictum of Great Britain, and the work continues for Fukuzumi, who, remember, just needs to get going when the last car passes the pit lane. That is when he would get the green light, but that is looking unlikely. The GP3 drivers have had to wait an awfully long time to get to this position, but now we have the green flag and 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 red lights at Monza when they go out. We'll be underway for the only race this weekend. Great getaway from Russell, exactly what they needed. And Aiken trying to immediately challenge. He's too big there as they go down to the first turn. Who's going to break latest? Oh, we're going to see Eddie Trauma there. Lady's locking up. Is he going to make the corner? Is there any contact? There is contact there. Strong Holst off the road. Fulcini off the road. Are they going to be able to rejoin without causing any major issues? Yes, they are. And they all battle through with Hubert putting a lot of pressure on Aiken for second position in this race immediately as they head down to the Delaroja chicane. And it's Russell in the lead, and Hubert moving on up and taking second position, but a big crash in the background. Leo Fulcini has mounted the GP3, makes heavy contact with the barrier to surely bring out the safety car. Multiple cars on the road, but he had almost, well, he mounted that car long before they got to the braking zone, and he was just a passenger. That was distressing to see. Hopefully they are both okay. The Tech Pro there to do its job. It's the reason that we have tarmac runoff, but still yellow flag out with no safety car deployed. Surely that requires a safety car, a virtual safety car. At the very least, we've got 2 cars in the barrier, but Sibet getting very close indeed, and the safety car has been deployed now. One mile, Correa was losing out there. The other car involved was Alessio Lorandi. Here he is.
Well, I did not notice.
Alessio Lorandi standing out of the car, and, well, that would have been a scary moment, seeing Fulcini linked to his car, attached to his car as they went into the braking zone, and both of them were passengers. And so we managed all of 3 quarters of a lap after waiting all weekend to get going. You can see how despondent he is. Spoke on stage earlier in the weekend about his pride of being an Italian driver racing at Monza. He was in the points, but no longer. The 2 Italians coming together at the Delaroja chicane, the second chicane on this circuit, and it's a sad sight in the morning for Lorandi. It's a little bit of encouragement from the marshal, but bizarre accident, because I've never seen 2 cars join together for that amount of time. And the medical staff there are attending to Leonardo Fulcini as we see the safety car moving away there. A lot of this stuff is precautionary. They go through a important procedure. It was a big hit, really was a big hit for Leo Fulcini as he went into the barrier. Tatiana Calderon has had contact elsewhere on the racetrack. It really was a frenetic opening lap. I think a lot of the frustration and determination.
Make sure you let me know.
So we are under the safety car early in this race on lap 2. Hubert doing nicely there to take the position away, having lost it at the first turn. He stayed calm. He didn't try a late lunge, and he tried to improve. Stotthorst improving from the start of the race and improving up in the order there. So Stotthorst, who started in 6th, now finds himself up to 4th. And the order is Russell, Hubert, Aitken, Stotthorst, Kari and Boccolacci. So Nico Kari, what an opening lap for him. Had to check the timing screen twice. Kari starting himself in 14th position. And race control will be having a little check to make sure that he got there. If he's made those places legally, that is a storming response for the Finnish driver, who found out at the last race that he would not be continuing with the Red Bull Junior Driver Program, and another driver with some bubbling frustration that he has used to great effect. He got a shot there, and we don't want to see this early on a Sunday. The marshals taking a while to extract him. I'm hearing in my ear that he is moving inside the car, so it is all right for the moment. Just taking a little while to get out. I imagine he's pretty winded considering the speed that they're doing into the second chicane. So the field had to keep tyre temperature and brake temperature up. Now Lacey was able to improve a couple of positions there. As we see Lorandi surveying what remains of his Genza, and unfortunately his entire weekend lasting just a few corners. Officially, the second chicane, turns 4 and 5. As the medical team continue to assist Leonardo Porcini, who had run wide. He had cut the first chicane, taken the polystyrene chicane through the first turn, and then making contact that bound the cars together into the braking zone. Very unusual accident, and the reason that we're behind this safety car early in the Monza sunshine. So Raoul Hyman got himself up from 15th on the grid to 8th position. Hyman, who is a race winner this year, and had 6 of them so far. Russell, Maney, Fugazumi, Aitken, Hyman, who I mentioned, and Giuliano Alesi, who has been the king of a Sunday morning. But that is going, of course, usually with the assistance of the reverse grid, something that they will not get this weekend. That race officially cancelled. We have 2 rounds to run for the rest of the season in Jerez, a standalone event on the weekend of the Japanese Formula One Grand Prix, and the season finale along with the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So over the line one more time, lap 4 of the 22. The race that was allotted for today was meant to run for 17 laps, and we hope that we can see the drivers show us their talents as the crowd begin to pour into the circuit. You can still see some damp patches offline. This racetrack really did take a battering in terms of the wet weather yesterday. An unprecedented day in terms of the delay, not only for Formula One qualifying, but for the Formula 2 race. We have the sprint coming up for that after this outing, and for Aitken, he knows he's got to use this restart when we do get back underway to try and get past Hubert, who is not a factor for the championship. And the man that the car we're on board with is racing is George Russell at the head of the field, already with a 36 points advantage. Didn't get the chance to extend that to 40 with a washout of qualifying. Still though, we are circulating under the safety car after the accident between Alessio Lorandi and Leo Pulcini. We await for positive word after that big hit that we ran on board with him, didn't we, as he hit the Tech Pro barrier.
Oh, they have everything on it, isn't it?
So moment. A familiar sight in GP3. George Russell at the head of the field. Russell, who has been so impressive this year with 3 victories, and he was delighted to he was delighted to take the points record from a GP3 weekend of 45. Didn't quite do the double, but took pole and first, second positions, along with fastest lap in there as well, to take 45 points. A very impressive performance from him, but not quite the maximum available to him across the weekend, but he was delighted, and he's cutting a confident figure at the moment. Said he was happy with any conditions for racing, just very comfortable with the team, and he spoke about the bond that he had with the ART mechanics. Said he got that bond pretty early on and started working and feeling comfortable, and that is so important when you have a field as talented as this one. The fine margins make a difference, and if we focus in on the top 3 cars that we have in the field, the ART team, where there is so much competition in this race and in this team, in this championship, and of course ART today are in a position right now with the points as they stand to clinch the team championship for the 7th time in 8 seasons. We've only had 8 runnings of the GP3 series starting back in 2010, and ART have only lost out on 1 occasion. So Russell speaking about that working relationship. The dominant team, there is Sebastian Philippe, the team boss of the dominant AR team outfit. Dominant, of course, as well in the past in GP2. Not quite able to match Kramer so far this season in F2, but we expect them to come charging back. Of course, there's been a lot of rumours about Kramer maybe entering GP3 next season. That could possibly, if we think about the impact that they had in GP2, be a big impact on ART's domination in the field.
Yeah. They all the same, don't they? You actually look at them and they don't really look the same.
So still circulating behind the safety car after a big crash on lap 1 that eliminated Leonardo Porcini and Alessio Lorandi. The medical staff still on site, tending to the driver, and we will bring you word as soon as we have it. On first glance, it was a very unusual accident in terms of what we saw. Hearing in my ear that the driver is conscious and they are just working to extract him from the car. Russell just has to focus right now on keeping those brake temperatures up. Kari looking to send a message to the Red Bull Junior driver program. He certainly has in the early stages. He was a big winner along with Raoul Hyman in the field. So let's survey the start then. No Nairo Fukuzumi, we lost him